The sound of the collision was not like thunder. It was like a million mirrors breaking at the exact same time. It was a high-pitched screech that hurt the ears of everyone in the Grand Priest's palace. Gohan's fist was buried deep into Kanba's chest, but there was no blood. There was no flesh. Gohan's hand had hit a wall of solid purple crystal. The impact created a shockwave that blew the white tiles off the floor. The tiles spun away into the infinite void like leaves in a hurricane. Gohan gritted his teeth. He pushed harder. His silver aura flared up. He tried to inject his destruction energy into Kanba's body. He wanted to blow him up from the inside. But the energy did not go in. It stopped. The crystal armor of Kanba was vibrating. It was humming with a strange frequency. Gohan felt his own energy bouncing back at him. It was like punching a rubber wall. The force traveled back up Gohan's arm. His bones shook. His shoulder popped. Gohan gasped in pain and jumped back. He landed next to Goku and Vegeta. He looked at his hand. His knuckles were bruised. They were smoking. Kanba stood there calmly. He brushed the dust off his chest. There was a small scratch on his armor where Gohan had hit him. But as they watched, the crystal grew back. It bubbled like water and then hardened instantly. The scratch was gone. Kanba laughed. His voice sounded distorted. It sounded like it was coming from inside a glass bottle. He said, "Is that it? Is that the power of the Dragon God candidate? You cannot break a diamond with a wooden stick. I am the hardest substance in the multiverse. I am the end of entropy." Goku stepped forward. He looked serious. He said, "He is really tough, Gohan. I can feel it. His kai feels sharp. It feels like needles." Vegeta cracked his knuckles. He said toughness does not matter. Everything breaks if you hit it hard enough. "Kakarot, let's show him our new move." Goku nodded. They flared their auras. Goku turned blue. Vegeta turned royal blue. They did not attack separately. They moved as one. They vanished. Kanba looked left. He looked right. He could not see them. They were moving too fast. They were moving in a perfect circle around him. They were creating a vacuum. The air pressure dropped. Kanba's crystal spike started to rattle. Suddenly, Goku appeared in front of Kanba. He punched Kanba in the face. At the exact same second, Vegeta appeared behind Kanba. He kicked Kanba in the back of the head. The impacts happened at the same time. The force met in the middle of Kanba's head. Crack! A loud snapping sound echoed. A piece of Kanba's crystal horn broke off. It spun through the air and stabbed into the ground. Kanba roared. He was angry. He swung his giant crystal claw around. But Goku and Vegeta were already gone. They were attacking his legs now. Goku swept his feet. Vegeta kicked his knees. Kanba stumbled. He fell onto one knee. Goku shouted, "Now! Vegeta!" They both jumped into the air. They put their hands together. They were not doing a fusion. They were doing a combined blast. Goku shouted, "Kamehameha." Vegeta shouted, "Final flash." The two beams fired down. The blue beam and the yellow beam twisted together. They became a green spiral of pure power. It hit Kanba right on top of his head. The explosion was massive. A pillar of light shot up into the nebula. The heat was intense. It melted the floor of the palace. Smoke covered the platform. Goku and Vegeta landed. They were breathing hard. That attack took a lot of energy. Goku said, "Did we get him?" Vegeta said, "Of course we got him. Nobody can survive that." That was full power. The smoke began to clear, and there was Kanba. He was still kneeling. His armor was glowing red hot. It was steaming. But he was not broken. He was absorbing the heat. The red glow faded as the crystal sucked in the energy. Kanba stood up. He looked even shinier than before. The attack had polished him. Kanba smiled a wicked smile. He said thank you. I was feeling a little cold. Your energy is delicious. But now, it is my turn to share. Kamba opened his mouth. A beam of white light shot out. But it wasn't a normal beam. It was jagged. It moved in a zigzag pattern. It was the reflected energy of the final Kamehameha, but twisted by the void. Goku and Vegeta were surprised. They tried to dodge, but the beam was unpredictable. It bounced off the invisible walls of the palace shield. It hit Goku in the shoulder. It hit Vegeta in the leg. Both Saiyans cried out. They fell to the ground. The beam cut through their God Kai like it was paper. Blood dripped onto the white tiles. Gohan shouted, "Dad! Vegeta!" Gohan rushed to help them, but Kamba moved. He was fast for a big guy. He appeared in front of Gohan. He swung his giant crystal claw. Gohan blocked with his arms. The claw hit him. It felt like being hit by a planet. Gohan flew backward. He crashed into a pillar. The pillar collapsed on top of him. Kamba laughed again. He walked toward the fallen warriors. He said, "This is the power of the crystal void. I reflect all energy. I absorb all heat. You cannot burn me. You cannot blast me. I am the mirror that shows you your death." The Grand Priest watched from the top of the stairs. He did not interfere. This was their fight. But he looked at Broly. Broly was standing still. He was watching Kamba. His eyes were yellow. His muscles were twitching. He was remembering his training. The Grand Priest whispered, "Now, Broly, show him the power of the hammer." Broly took a deep breath. He exhaled slowly. The air around him turned green. He did not scream. He did not explode. He just started walking. He walked toward Kamba. His steps were heavy. Thud, thud, thud. Kamba stopped laughing. He looked at Broly. He sensed something different. This energy was not God Kai. It was not void energy. It was pure primal force. It was the energy of a wild animal. Kamba said, "Another monkey. You want to break your hands on me too?" Broly did not answer. He just kept walking. He got closer. Kamba got annoyed. He swung his claw at Broly's head. He wanted to cut him in half. Broly did not dodge. He raised his hand. He caught the claw. The sound of metal on glass screeched. Broly's hand wrapped around the sharp crystal blade. The crystal cut Broly's skin. Green blood dripped down. But Broly did not let go. He squeezed. Crunch! The crystal claw started to crack under Broly's grip. Kamba's eyes went wide. He tried to pull his hand back, but he couldn't. Broly was stronger, much stronger. Broly looked Kamba in the eye. Broly growled. It was a low rumble like an earthquake. Broly pulled Kamba toward him. Then he headbutted him. Bam! Broly's forehead hit Kamba's crystal face. The impact created a shockwave that knocked Goku and Vegeta further away. Kamba's head snapped back. A spiderweb of cracks appeared on his face. Kamba stumbled back. He touched his face. He felt the crack. He looked at his hand in disbelief. He said, "Impossible. You broke my skin. How?" Broly did not stop. He lunged forward. He grabbed Kamba by the waist. He lifted the giant crystal monster into the air. Broly roared. He slammed Kamba into the ground. Then he started punching. Left, right, left, right. Broly was not using energy blasts. He was not using technique. He was using weight and speed. He was hitting Kamba with enough force to shatter a moon. Kamba tried to reflect the damage, but he couldn't reflect physical force. A punch was not energy. A punch was matter hitting matter. And Broly was denser than Kamba. Kamba screamed. He kicked Broly off him. Broly slid back but stayed on his feet. Kamba stood up. He was damaged. His chest was cracked. His face was chipped. He looked afraid. Kamba shouted, "You savage! You mindless beast!" Kamba raised both hands. The crystal spikes on his back started to glow. He was charging a massive attack. He was going to turn the whole platform into crystal. Kamba shouted, "Crystallizing rain." Thousands of sharp crystal needles shot out of his body. They flew everywhere. They hit the floor, and the floor turned to purple glass. They hit the pillars, and the pillars turned to glass. Gohan pushed the rubble off himself. He saw the needles coming. He saw his father and Vegeta on the ground. They were injured. If the needles hit them, they would be turned to statues. Gohan flared his beast aura. He jumped in front of Goku and Vegeta. He created a shield, but he knew his shield might not hold. The needles were void magic. Suddenly, Gohan felt the mark on his chest burn hot. The voice of Zalama echoed in his mind. "Do not block. Rewrite." Gohan understood. He remembered the trial. He couldn't just use destruction. He had to use the power of the Dragon God. He had to change the reality of the attack. Gohan dropped his shield. He raised his hand. He focused on the golden mark. He imagined the needles turning into something else. He imagined them turning into flower petals. Gohan shouted, "Dragon Miracle." A golden wave of light shot out from his hand. It hit the wave of crystal needles. The purple crystals touched the gold light, and they changed. They turned pink. They turned soft. They turned into cherry blossom petals. The petals rained down on Goku and Vegeta. They were harmless. They smelled sweet. Kamba stopped. He stared at the flowers. He looked confused. He said, "What? What did you do to my attack? That is impossible. You cannot change my void matter." Gohan stepped forward. His silver hair was flowing, but now he had a golden aura mixed with the silver. He looked like a true deity. Gohan said, "You are strong, Kamba, but you are rigid. Crystal is hard, but it is brittle, and it cannot change. I can change. We can change. That is why mortals are stronger than you." Kamba growled. He looked at Broly, who was ready to punch him again. He looked at Gohan, who was glowing with dragon magic. He looked at Goku and Vegeta, who were standing up again. He realized he was in trouble. He had underestimated them. Kamba said, "Fine. You have won this battle, but you have not won the war. Do you think I came alone?" Kamba pressed a button on his crystal armor. A holographic screen appeared in the air. It showed images from across the multiverse. The screen showed Universe 7. It showed Earth. The sky over West City was purple. Giant crystal ships were landing. The screen showed Piccolo. He was fighting. He was missing an arm. He was surrounded by hundreds of void soldiers. The screen showed Goten and Trunks. They were fused as Gotenks, but they were Super Saiyan 3 and they looked tired. They were fighting a general of the Void Army. The screen showed Universe 11. Toppo and the Pride Troopers were fighting in the ruins of a city. Dispo was limping. The screen showed Universe 6. Caulifla and Kale were back to back, blasting enemies. Kamba laughed. He said, "While you play hero here, my armies are eating your homes. I have planted crystal seeds on every major planet. In 1 hour the seeds will bloom. When they bloom, they will turn the planets into crystal stars. Everyone you love will be a statue in my garden." Gohan's eyes went wide. He felt a spike of panic. Pan, Videl, Mom, they were all on Earth. They were in danger. Kamba used their distraction. He turned around and jumped off the palace platform. He fell toward his flagship. Vegeta shouted he is escaping. Broly roared and tried to chase him, but the Grand Priest appeared in front of Broly. He held up a hand. The Grand Priest said, "Stop. Do not follow him into the void. It is a trap. If you leave the palace protection now, he will swarm you with his fleet." Gohan ran to the edge. He watched Kamba land on his ship. The ship's engines fired. The crystal fleet began to retreat. They vanished into dark portals. Kanba's voice echoed one last time. He said, 1 hour, heroes. Tick-tock. Silence fell over the palace. The wind blew the cherry blossom petals across the broken floor. Goku fell to his knees. He punched the ground. He said, darn it, we let him get away. And now he is attacking Earth. Vegeta held his injured leg. He was angry. He said he used us as a distraction. He knew we would all come here. He left our worlds undefended. Gohan stood still. He was trembling. He was thinking about Pan. He imagined her turning into crystal. The thought made him sick. He turned to the Grand Priest. He said, Grand Minister, please, send us back. We have to save them. The Grand Priest nodded. His face was grim. He said the situation is critical. The void infection has spread faster than predicted. You must split up. You cannot fight as one team anymore. You must become the guardians of your separate worlds. The Grand Priest tapped his staff. A map of the multiverse appeared. He said Jiren is already in Universe 11. He will handle the defense there. Hit and the Scions of Sadala are in Universe 6. But Universe 7 is the primary target. That is where the strongest warriors are. That is where the crystal seed is likely largest. Gohan looked at his father. He looked at Vegeta. He looked at Broly. Gohan said, okay, here is the plan. Dad and Vegeta, you go to New Namek. I sense a fleet heading there too. If they get the Namekian Dragon Balls, they might try to wish for something terrible. You have to protect the Namekians. Goku nodded. He said, got it. We won't let them touch Namek. Gohan looked at Broly. He said, Broly, I need you to go to Universe 6. Kaba and the girls need help. You are a Saiyan. They will listen to you, and your raw power can break the crystal ships there. Broly looked at Chilai. Chilai nodded. She said we can do that. We can help the other Saiyans. Gohan said, I will go to Earth. That is where the main army is. That is where Piccolo is. I will defend my home. Vegeta looked at Gohan. He saw the look in the boy's eyes. It was the same look Gohan had when he fought Cell. It was the look of a leader. Vegeta said, don't die, Gohan. If you die, I will be very annoyed. Gohan smiled a small, sad smile. He said, I won't die. I have a dinner to get to. Whis walked forward. He said, I will transport everyone, but I cannot stay and fight. As an angel, I must remain neutral in a territorial war. I can only transport and train. The fighting is up to you. Goku stood up. He ate a senzu bean. His shoulder healed. He tossed one to Vegeta. Goku said, let's go. 1 hour. We can do a lot in 1 hour. Whis tapped his staff. 3 beams of light shot out. 1 beam took Goku and Vegeta to Namek. 1 beam took Broly and Chili and Lemmo to Universe 6. 1 beam took Gohan to Earth. Gohan traveled through the warp tunnel. He was moving faster than he ever had before. He could feel the urgency. He closed his eyes and reached out with his mind. He searched for energies on Earth. He felt Piccolo. His energy was burning low. It felt like a flickering candle. He felt the Goten and Trunks. They were spiking and dropping. He felt Krillin. He felt Tien. They were all fighting. And he felt a massive cold void energy in the center of West City. Gohan arrived on Earth. He appeared in the sky above Capsule Core. The scene was a nightmare. The sky was not blue, it was purple. The sun was blocked by giant crystal ships. The city was on fire, but the fire was purple. The buildings were half turned to crystal. The people running in the streets were terrified. In the courtyard of Capsule Corp, the battle was raging. Piccolo was on one knee. He was missing his left arm. He was breathing heavy. He was surrounded by 20 void soldiers. These soldiers were made of purple glass. They had swords instead of hands. Piccolo shouted, "Get back!" Makanka Sapo. He fired his beam with his one good hand. The beam hit a soldier, but it just bounced off the glass chest. The soldier laughed and raised his sword. Behind Piccolo, Bulma was hiding in the bunker entrance holding Bulla. Videl was there too, holding Pan. Pan was crying. Videl looked terrified. She was watching Piccolo die to protect them. The Void Soldier swung his sword down at Piccolo's neck. Piccolo didn't close his eyes. He glared at the enemy. He thought Gohan. "I'm sorry. I couldn't hold them off." Suddenly, the sky exploded. A sonic boom shattered all the windows in the remaining buildings. A figure slammed into the ground between Piccolo and the soldier. The ground shook. A crater formed. The Void Soldier's sword didn't hit Piccolo. It hit a hand that didn't move. Gohan stood there. He was in his base form. He was wearing his purple gyai. The cape was fluttering in the wind. He was holding the crystal sword with 2 fingers. The Void Soldier looked shocked. He tried to pull the sword away. He couldn't. Gohan looked back at Piccolo. He saw the missing arm. He saw the blood. Gohan's eyes narrowed. He whispered, "I'm late. Sorry, Mr. Piccolo." Piccolo looked up. He saw the back of his student. He felt the energy. It was calm. It was vast. It was like the ocean. Piccolo smiled. He said, "You're just in time, kid." Gohan turned back to the soldier. He snapped the crystal sword with his fingers. Then he flicked the soldier in the forehead. Flick. The soldier didn't just fly away. He exploded. He turned into dust instantly. The force of the flick created a wind tunnel that blew all the other soldiers away. Gohan looked at the army. There were thousands of them. Gohan said, "Videl, Bulma, get inside. Lock the door." Videl saw Gohan. She wiped tears from her eyes. She nodded. She pulled Pan inside the bunker. Gohan looked at Piccolo. He placed his hand on Piccolo's shoulder. Golden light flowed from the dragon mark. Piccolo's arm grew back instantly. His energy returned. Piccolo gasped. He said, "What? What is this power?" Gohan said, "It's a gift from a dragon. Are you ready for round 2? Piccolo stood up. He ripped off his weighted turban. He smirked. He said, "I was born ready." Just then, Goten and Trunks flew down. They had diffused. They were covered in soot. Trunks shouted, "Gohan, you're back. These guys are super hard. We can't punch them." Gohan looked at the boys. He said, "Don't punch them. Break them. Listen to the vibration. Every crystal has a weak point." Gohan floated up into the air. He flared his beast aura. The red lightning crackled. The silver hair grew long. He spoke to the whole city. He projected his voice with Kai. He said, "Attention, Void Army. I am Son Gohan. This is my planet. You have 5 seconds to leave. If you do not leave, you will become dust." The general of the Void Army floated up. He was a tall, crystal creature with 4 arms. He laughed. The general said, "Son Gohan, we know you. Kamba told us about you. You are the soft-hearted Saiyan. You won't kill us all. There are too many of us." Gohan looked at the general. His red eyes glowed. Gohan said, "I am not the same Saiyan I was yesterday." Gohan raised his hand. He used the technique Vegeta taught him, the Hakai, but he mixed it with the Dragon Miracle. He pointed at the general. Gohan said erasure. The general stopped laughing. His crystal body started to turn into cherry blossom petals. He screamed as he dissolved into flowers. In 2 seconds he was gone. Just a pile of pink leaves floating in the wind. The army froze. They had never seen their leader killed so easily. Gohan shouted attack. Piccolo, Goten and Trunks charged. This time they were inspired. They fought harder. But Gohan didn't join them yet. He sensed something else. deep underground, beneath the city. The crystal seed. Kamba had planted it. It was growing. It was pulsing. Gohan could feel it sucking the life out of the Earth's core. If he didn't stop it, the planet would die in less than an hour. Gohan touched his earpiece. He said, "Bulma, can you hear me?" Bulma's voice came through from the bunker. She said, "Gohan, thank God. Yes, I hear you." Gohan said, "Scan the underground. There is something growing under the city. I need to know exactly where the core is." Bulma typed furiously on her computer. She said, "I see it. Oh my God, it's huge. It's wrapping around the planetary magma. It's like a giant crystal root system. The heart of it is 5 miles down, directly under Capsule Corp." Gohan said, "Okay, I'm going in." Piccolo yelled, "Gohan, wait. You can't just dig down there. The pressure will crush you. And if you blast it, you might crack the Earth's crust." Gohan looked at Piccolo. He smiled. Gohan said, "I won't blast it. I'm going to perform surgery." Gohan concentrated. He focused his beast aura into a thin shield around his body. He spun his body like a drill. He dove into the ground. The earth parted for him. He tunneled down. He went through rock, through water tables, through bedrock. It got hotter. The air smelled of sulfur. Then he hit the crystal. It was a cavern of purple spikes. In the center was a glowing heart. The crystal seed. It was beating like a living thing. Thump, thump. Gohan flew toward it. The crystal roots tried to grab him. He sliced them with his keyblade. He reached the heart. He placed his hands on it. It was cold. So cold it burned. Gohan closed his eyes. He connected with the dragon mark. He didn't want to destroy the seed. If he destroyed it, the energy backlash might blow up the core. He had to purify it. He had to reverse the polarity. Gohan poured his golden energy into the seed. He shouted, "Purify." The seed resisted. It fought back. Black shadows poured out of it. They tried to crawl up Gohan's arms. They tried to enter his mind. They whispered to him, "Give up. Order is a lie. Chaos is freedom. Let the planet die." Gohan gritted his teeth. He thought of Pan's laugh. He thought of Vidal's cooking. He thought of Goku's smile. He shouted, "No." He pushed harder. The golden light intensified. It burned away the shadows. It flowed into the crystal heart. The purple light started to turn white, then gold. The seed screamed, a high-pitched sound that shook the tectonic plates. On the surface, the ground rumbled. The void soldiers paused. Suddenly, the purple crystal ships in the sky lost power. They started to fall. The void energy powering them was cut off. Underground Gohan finished the job. The seed was now a ball of pure golden energy. It was no longer a parasite. It was a battery. It released a pulse of healing energy into the earth. Gohan flew back up the tunnel. He burst out of the ground. He hovered in the sky. He looked at the army. Their ships were crashing. Their weapons were fading. Gohan shouted, "Leave! Now!" The void soldiers were terrified. Their connection to the void was broken. They ran to the surviving ships and fled into space. The sky began to clear. The purple clouds vanished. The sun came out. Gohan landed. He powered down. His hair turned back to black. He fell to his knees. He was exhausted. Purifying a planet took a lot out of him. Piccolo ran over. He helped Gohan up. Piccolo said, "You did it, kid. You saved the whole planet." Bulma and Videl ran out of the bunker. Videl hugged Gohan so hard she almost knocked him over. Pan flew into his arms. Gohan held them tight. He smelled the smoke and the cherry blossoms. He was happy. But then his earpiece beeped. It was Goku. Goku's voice was statusy. He sounded out of breath. Goku said, "Gohan, do you copy?" Gohan said, "Dad, did you save Namek?" Goku said barely. We stopped the fleet, but something happened. Kamba wasn't just attacking Earth and Namek. Gohan felt a chill. He asked, "What do you mean?" Goku said, "We found a message on one of the ships. It was a distraction. All of this. Earth, Namek, Universe 6. It was all a distraction." Gohan asked, "A distraction for what?" Goku said, "He sent his main force to the one place nobody was watching. He sent them to the Supreme Kai's world." Gohan gasped. "The Supreme Kai? If the Supreme Kai dies, the god of destruction dies." Gohan said, "Lord Beerus." Goku said, "Yeah, Beerus is asleep. He doesn't know. And Shin is not a fighter. Kamba wants to kill Shin to kill Beerus. If Beerus dies, Whis is deactivated. We lose our strongest weapon." Gohan looked at the sky. The victory on Earth felt hollow now. It was a chess move. Kamba sacrificed his pawns to take the king. Gohan said, "I'm coming. Dad, meet me there." Gohan looked at Videl. He said, "I have to go. One more fight." Videl kissed him. She said, "Go. Save the gods." Gohan flew up. He locked onto the faint energy of the Supreme Kai. He prepared to warp across the universe. The episode ended with a shot of the Supreme Kai's world. It was burning. The beautiful green grass was black. Shin was crawling on the ground. A shadow stood over him. But it wasn't a Void Soldier. It was a dark version of a familiar face. It was a Void clone of Goku. The Void Goku smiled. He raised his hand to kill Shin. Stay tuned for the next episode. The Fall of the Gods. Beerus awakens. Gohan vs. Void Goku.